episode 32, and this week we're looking at Cardano wallets. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Learn Cardano podcast, the podcast where we break down all the ins and outs of Cardano so that you know exactly which wallet to use for your situation. Yeah, that's right. This week, we are breaking down every last single wallet that I can find that is built specifically for Cardano, and we'll be talking all about them in this particular episode. There are so many to break down, and we'll also be talking about a couple of ins and outs in regards to security, best practices, and a couple of things that you should be expecting with the upcoming DeFi space with the brand new Web3 wallets that are coming out. We saw a little preview of the Yoroi Web3 wallet version, the new dApp connector for it, the decentralized app dApp connector for Yoroi. Yeah, that's right, a new one. We saw it with the SundaeSwap team and announcing their integration with that particular wallet. So we're seeing some glimpses of all these new wallets that are appearing and how they're potentially going to interact with the new ecosystem that's coming up. But we'll talk more about that in this episode, so just stay tuned for that. But first off, let's get into some news for this week. Following on from last week's news stories, Tokhan had launched their store, their NFT marketplace, with smart contracts. Now there are a few more marketplaces that have launched this week also with smart contracts. So they're snapping at their heels and more of these marketplaces are appearing, which is absolutely amazing. So this one here is JPEG Store. You can get to it at jpeg.store, and they have initiated their smart contracts for their marketplace. You can see the demos online. I'll post a link to this in the show notes as well, so you can find it and see exactly how this particular marketplace is working. It looks pretty good. But also, yeah, another one, we also saw Genesis House launch too, and that also has smart contract capabilities, and they're doing everything that Tokhan and JPEG Store are doing as well. So they've got their own smart contracts out. It works slightly differently in that you have to send it to a particular wallet, kind of the same as how Tokhan works, where you have to send it to their server's web wallet. And from there, you can then list your NFTs for sale, and someone else can interact with it with a smart contract and purchase it instantly that way. So it's happening. There's more and more of these marketplaces appearing. So I think that's 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. So we've got CNFT.io, we have the JPEG Store, we have Genesis House, we have Tokhan, and we have Artifact, which hasn't quite released yet, but they're on their way to releasing soon. So that's 5 quite slick and good-looking NFT marketplaces for Cardano ecosystem. So things are really ramping up. Some of these marketplaces really maturing. So it's interesting to see which one of these will be the marketplace that everyone seems to go to. There'll be plenty of space and room for all of these marketplaces, but some will be more popular than others. So we'll just have to see where we are in a year's time. We'll come back to this and see which one of these marketplaces made it and reached number 1 in terms of volumes of sales and maybe the highest sale as well. We'll check back in a year's time and see what happens. This next news story also revolves around NFTs, and this one in particular, SpaceBuds. SpaceBuds, someone took out a huge video billboard advertisement for SpaceBuds and placed it above the NASDAQ billboard in Times Square in New York. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty amazing. I thought it was a fake. I thought someone had did a Photoshop thing, did a video overlay, and superimposed it on there. But there are more and more of these videos appearing. So there's more of them. They're done at night, at different times of the day. So it's definitely verified that SpaceBuds do have an advertisement above the NASDAQ billboard in Times Square in New York. That's pretty cool. Someone here with a lot of money decided to put that in place and make it a big shout out to the world to say, hey, SpaceBuds and Cardano NFTs are here. So that's really amazing and really cool to see. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Again, it's in the show notes. Now, this news story is quite big. This is from the SundaySwap team. They have announced their solution to their concurrency engineering challenges that are in the Cardano ecosystem. So the concurrency issue I've spoken about in a previous podcast episode, I think it was in episode 31. Episode 30. You can check back at that one and have a look at what this concurrency issue is. But essentially, only one smart contract can consume a block at a time. And to be able to work in the DeFi space, we need to have a lot more than just one. We need 70, 100, thousands even to be interacting with the smart contracts and doing trading and swapping and then recording that to the blockchain. So we need a lot more than just one. So here we are, and SundaySwap have announced their currency issue and also their particular model in how it's going to be decentralized and how the community stake pool operators, such as ourselves, could be the ones that are operating the ISO, the initial stake pool offering that they're doing to distribute all their SundaySwap tokens, as well as being SundaySwap scoopers. So these scoopers will be running the decentralized exchange and processing the transactions and collecting fees along the way. They'll be able to collect the fees in a month's time. So they'll be collecting for a month, and at the end of the month period, they'll be collecting those fees from the particular smart contract, and they can do as they please. They may distribute that to their delegates or pocket it for themselves. So they are going to be running the SundaySwap decentralized exchange, the processing of the transactions at least. So that's really cool, really amazing to see. They're so close to actually launching their decentralized exchange, their videos, their updates. You can see everything working, interacting. It's interacting and working with Nami wallet. It's also interacting and working with the new Yoroi wallet, which is really amazing to see as well. That is something I hadn't known about and hadn't had a sneak peek of either. So I haven't seen the new Nami, not the new Nami, the new Yoroi wallet, which is the Web3 dApp connector so that Yoroi can interact with websites. I haven't seen that before, and they demoed it. It looks really cool. So in that blog post where they talked about the concurrency solution for their decentralized exchange, they announced how these particular pools were going to be selected for their ISO and to be SundaySwap scoopers. Essentially, we'd have to apply and go through an application process, which our stake pool has, and then go through a voting process with on-chain voting, where everyone that is wanting to participate in this will vote for the various stake pools that they want to be selected as the official ISO stake pools. So this is, it's a little bit of a popularity contest. It's a little bit of an influence contest, but essentially any of the stake pools out there that have a good degree of trust is what they're after. And if you want to learn a little bit more about this, there is a really good YouTube video with Pi Cunningham, who is one of the lead developers of the SundaySwap project, and also Trading with Paul from Trading with Paul. And they talk about why they're doing this model, but essentially they're looking for people that they can trust to run and operate the particular protocol. And in doing so, connecting with these stake pool operators and connecting with their communities and letting their communities vote on who should be running these Sunday scoopers. So that's the whole premise of that. It's all about giving the power to the people so that the people can vote on who they want to be running and operating the network and the systems. It's an interesting concept, it's an interesting model, and it all comes down to the decentralized autonomous organization, which will form around the SundaySwap DEX as well. And we'll just have to wait and see. We've applied, and fingers crossed we make the shortlist. And from that shortlist, fingers crossed that there's enough votes that we get selected into one of the top 30 pools that can provide this ISO service. And anyone that is delegating to our stake pool would be able to get some of these SundaySwap tokens as well. Now, you might be asking, what's the big deal about these SundaySwap tokens? Well, if you look at history and you look at some other really big DEXs that had released in the past that work in a very similar way to this. If you look at Uniswap, or if you look at PancakeSwap, you've seen these DEXs launch and the price of their tokens launch at, let's say, 2 cents. And we've seen them grow astronomically over the last few years to prices well over $80 plus. So there is a really good incentive to try and get in early on these decentralized exchanges and grab some of their tokens so that we can potentially write up some of the gains and value of these particular tokens as their decentralized exchanges grow. So as they grow, they'll be taking fees, they'll be generating revenue from different swaps. They'll be creating these swap tokens as well, the Sunday swap tokens, as that process grows. So there'll be a degree of inflation into the ecosystem. But as that happens, people will be trading with these tokens as well and incurring impermanent loss. So that is how some of these decentralized exchanges work. And as a result, these extra tokens that these exchanges release are worth quite a bit. And people do want them. They're used for liquidity and all sorts of things. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens over the next month as Sunday Swap release their decentralized exchange and also their tokens through their ISO. Fingers crossed. Keep track of our podcasts, keep track of our YouTube channel, and you'll be kept up to date when the ISO is happening and when you will need to vote. And hopefully you can vote for ADA Oz for this particular ISO. It'll be absolutely brilliant if we can have you all on board. Now, my last news update here, it's around the amount of wallets that have been created. So these are the wallet addresses. So each time you download Yoroi, you may want to create a new wallet. This is the number of wallets that have been created in that process. We've reached over 2 million wallets that have been created. Yay, amazing. So that's a really big milestone for the Cardano project. It's another achievement unlocked with 2 million wallets have been created. That doesn't mean 2 million users. I know myself, I've got about maybe 10 different wallets that I've created to hold different amounts of ADA and delegate to different pools or using for different various things. So it's not necessarily 2 million users, but it is still a fair amount of wallets that have been created in the ecosystem and being used. So that's absolutely brilliant. Congratulations, Cardano. You've reached the 2 million mark. Now, this is a brilliant segue to actually move into our main topic of wallets. So let's get into our main segment. Usually, the very first thing that you do after buying some ADA on an exchange is setting up a wallet, working out what wallet to download. There are so many of them. You'll be Googling Cardano wallets, and eventually you will find a list of various really interesting wallets that you could probably download and get started so that you can stake your ADA and earn rewards on your staking. Now, I have spoken about wallet security and security in general in the past, and if you go back to episode 21 at cardano.com.au/EP021, you'll be able to go through that episode where we talk about best practices for securing your wallet, your seed phrases, your email accounts, and a whole bunch of other things. And I also have the interview with Nick Nikiforakis, who also talks about phishing scams and how they work and how you can avoid them. So it's a really good podcast episode to always reference back to. So make sure you listen to that one if you haven't yet. But this episode, I want to go through some of these other wallets and the wallet ecosystem in general for Cardano. There are so many wallets, and there's these really cool ones that are being developed at the moment, and they do different things compared to what the main 3 wallets that have been existing in the Cardano ecosystem for quite a while. So at the moment, we have 3 main ones. We have Daedalus. Daedalus is a full node wallet where you would have to download it onto a computer and run it and synchronize it with the blockchain. So it's quite a heavy wallet in that you need to download the blockchain, and it takes up a lot of resources to be able to actually run it. But the huge advantage of that is that you have the full blockchain on your computer. When you're interacting with it, you're literally just connecting to your code, your transaction, to the node that's on your computer, and then that's broadcasted to the rest of the network. So it's a lot faster. You're not depending on a third-party server, which Yoroi does. So Yoroi is a light wallet that doesn't need the full node to be loaded up on the computer itself. It relies on servers that it can connect to so that it can pull down all the data about the Cardano blockchain. So that's a huge difference there. And that's why it's called a light wallet. So that's why you can also find a Yoroi mobile app. So it exists as a browser extension on a PC or a Mac or a Linux notebook, but also exists as a mobile app. And this is because it can use APIs or a programming language layer that will allow it to communicate to a server and download all the data for the blockchain that way. So that's why it's so different. It's so different to a full node and it has those capabilities of being mobile friendly. Now, the last one, which is very common, is the Ada Lite wallet, and Ada Lite is a browser-based wallet. So you open up a website, adalite.io, and you can interact with your wallet there. So you can load up your seed phrase and interact, do transactions, and delegate to particular stake pools. So that's the main wallets there. Now, Ada Lite also is developed by the team called Vacuum Labs, and they do all of the code for the hardware integration. So all the hardware wallets that exist, such as a Trezor or a Ledger Nano, they wrote a lot of the code that the Daedalus wallet and the Yoroi wallet use to integrate and provide that secure storage of your crypto assets via hardware wallet. Now, if you don't know much about hardware wallets, I highly suggest you read the show notes where I talk a little bit more about that. And if you have any substantial amount of crypto assets that you are afraid of losing, it is a really good idea to get in on and buy a hardware wallet, whether it's a Ledger Nano or a Trezor, whatever it is. Have a look at the reviews for them and find out which one is best for you. It's highly recommended that you get one. But let's have a look at these brand new wallets that are coming into the Cardano ecosystem at the moment. A lot of these new projects that are coming in and building wallets for Cardano are doing so because they're filling a gap. There's room for improvement on all of these things. Now, these ones that I'll look at, one called Card Wallet, one called CC Vault, used to be called CC Wallet, Nami Wallet, Jero Wallet, and Ray Wallet. So all of these new ones have been developed by upstart projects or in the community themselves, and they are providing a different approach to what wallets have done in the past with the existing three, with the existing Yoroi, Daedalus, and Ada Lite. So Card Wallet is a mobile-first wallet. So they wanted to fill the gap there where there wasn't a brilliant mobile experience in terms of being able to hold and move your crypto assets in the mobile space. So Card Wallet allows you to buy and sell crypto assets directly from your mobile phone. Well, that's the approach that they want to take. And also hold different assets as well. So you'll be able to hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano and Cardano native tokens, and whatever else they decide to put into their ecosystem. They're also providing liquidity pools within their app as well. So you'll be able to buy, sell, and trade directly through that app through a decentralized exchange on their app. So that's a big difference with Card Wallet. They also have the ability to hold NFTs and actually view your NFTs on your wallet. So if you have some really cool NFTs, maybe a Space Buds that you want to show off, you can hold it within your wallet and you can show your friends, use it as a pickup line when you're out. I don't know, maybe it will work. Let me know if you ever tried that. But you can show off your NFT collection on your wallet, and that's a really different approach. The important thing is that it's a non-custodial wallet, which means that you own the seed phrase, you own the assets themselves. It's not being stored on a third-party server. Someone else isn't looking after your seed phrase. It's up to you to look after your seed phrase, so you're responsible for that. So that's a really important difference between a third-party company that's looking after your wallet, a custodial wallet, and you looking after your wallet, a non-custodial wallet. The next wallet on the list here is CC Vault. So that stands for Cardano Community Vault. It's made by a couple of stake pool operators that have pitched in and developed this alternative to Ada Lite. It is a browser-based wallet, very similar in some respect, but it gives you an extra option. And the really cool thing that they're doing there is they're taking community feedback and developing the features that the community wants. Hence, it's called Cardano Community Vault. That is a really cool idea and concept in itself because you're giving people what they need. You're going directly to them and saying, hey, what do you want? We need this, and going ahead and developing it. So it's a really cool project. Check it out. You can find the links to the operators and the people that are behind it on their website as well, ccvault.io. Everything's .io, I should guess. The next wallet I have here is Ray Wallet, and Ray Wallet is an interesting project too. They have a ISPO that's going on as well to raise funds for the development, but they are trying to be the wallet for everything. The wallet that will provide the storage of your wallet, of your ADA assets, sending, receiving, minting NFTs. You'll be able to stake as you should for any wallet. You'll be able to do swaps directly from the wallet as well, so create liquidity pools and also swap from different tokens that exist in those liquidity pools. But it's so much more than this. They're trying to build an entire ecosystem around their wallet. So whatever you would use a wallet for, they're looking at different ways to extend that and build different and new things. So they have a Kickstarter launch pad that they'll be building off their wallet as well. So it's something that's called an initial DEX offering. So if you're trying to launch a project and you want to distribute your tokens a particular way, you can do so via a DEX offering. You can put all your tokens on a DEX and then offer the initial sale that way. So that's an interesting way of doing things there. They're going to have the full NFT integration, a lot of they're going to have the full NFT integration as well, and also eventually span off to a Web3 wallet that will be used to connect to all the different decentralized exchanges. So when you need to interact with your wallet to a website, Ray Wallet will also be able to do that. Now, my next wallet that I have here is called Gero Wallet. Gero Wallet. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But this particular wallet has taken a different approach in that they wanted to create a really good user experience, a really slick interface and really good user experience. And the co-founder, Sean, he used to work for Google and he also used to work for NASA in user experience. So he is bringing a huge wealth of knowledge to this particular project. So the Gero wallet is very nice. It's very easy to use. And the fact that they have brought in some really high level skills in user experience is making this particular wallet one of the really nicest wallets out there in terms of user experience and be able to do what you need to do on the particular wallet. Now, the last wallet I'd like to talk about is Nami Wallet. So Nami Wallet is built as a Web3 wallet first. So Web3 means the next iteration of the internet. So it started with static pages, then websites that you could do and interact with, databases, etc. But now we have the third version of the internet, and that's the whole DeFi space, the blockchain space, the whole computer that is living on the internet, and that's Web3. So this Nami wallet is designed and made to interact with the Cardano blockchain via websites. So a regular wallet, such as Daedalus, is an application that sits on your computer and you interact with the application itself, and that talks to the blockchain. Yoroi is something very similar. It's a browser extension. It loads up an app within your browser and you interact with it that way. Nami Wallet is very similar to the Ethereum space that has MetaMask, and you'll be able to load it up as a browser extension on your computer, but then that browser extension will interact directly with the website and start doing things such as loading up your NFTs onto that website or reading your wallet balance and displaying it in the interface, or allowing you to swap various tokens. So letting the website access whatever's on your wallet, swapping it and interacting with a smart contract that's on the website, and then delivering something back into your wallet in the end. So it is that type of interaction that's needed for Cardano to get involved in the DeFi space, so that can interact with various decentralized exchanges and do things directly from the browser. Now, Nami Wallet was the very first wallet to be released on the Cardano ecosystem to do things like this. And it's really, really important for the DeFi space. We've seen the ViFi project, ViFinance, do their NFT staking, and they decided to integrate Nami Wallet for that. So in regards to that, you can get one of their NFTs, stake it to their stake pools on their website using Nami Wallet, and earn ViFi tokens as a reward. So that's a really cool thing that they've done with Nami Wallet. And what we've done ourselves is we've started to build an integration between Nami Wallet and WordPress websites. So we're a WordPress development team. We build a lot of different WordPress sites for various different size clients. Now, one of these really cool things that we wanted to do was build in that integration so that when you load up your Nami Wallet onto your WordPress website, you can log in with your Nami Wallet and then load up assets onto the WordPress site. So it might have 20 spacebuds, and you may have a portfolio on the website. You can load them up into the website, verify it, and then store them there. Not store the actual NFTs, but store a record of it so that you can show off your collection via that website. So you don't need to use like a block explorer or pool PM with an address to show it. You can just have a really nice vanity URL link from a particular NFT project, for example, and then show off your NFT collection on that website. So that's the type of thing that we're doing. We're building that out as a free plugin. So if anyone else wants to use that, they can download that, install it onto their own WordPress website, and do the integration that way so that you can integrate, log in, and display NFTs or do something else with the Nami Wallet directly through your website. Now, there are other wallets that you could possibly use. There's also Atomic Wallet, there's Exodus, and another one called B58, which I haven't looked into yet at all, but it claims to be another Cardano wallet. Now, I don't use Atomic Wallet or Exodus, so I can't really comment on those particular wallets, but I do know a lot of people that use them. I know with Exodus, you can simply put in your ADA tokens as well as Ethereum and Bitcoin or whatever else, because it's a multi-asset wallet, and then directly stake your ADA from Exodus to the Exodus pools. They're not the best performing pools, and really I'd get people out of there, but you know, they provide that easy onboarding service, so you can just put all your assets into one particular wallet and control it all from there. So that's the benefit and trade-offs that you get. What I don't recommend in the long term is to hold your crypto assets on an exchange wallet, such as Binance, Coinbase, or even Crypto.com, for example. They're the big global brands of particular exchanges, and they offer their own wallet. So it might be a mobile app or a website interface, and you can store and keep your assets on those particular websites, on the exchanges themselves. But there are problems with that. If you need to move your assets out for whatever reason, maybe you want to participate in the Sunday Swap ISO, you can't do it from an exchange wallet because they own your assets and they own the keys to your wallet. So it's that custodial approach. It gives trade-offs. So with the custodial approach, you can not worry about your seed phrases. You only need your password and two-factor authentication code to access your cryptocurrency assets. But with that is that other side of the trade-off where you don't actually own your assets, you can't purchase NFTs, and you can't participate in these ISOs. So getting your assets off those particular wallets and those particular exchanges is usually the very first thing that you want to do, especially if you want to participate in the DeFi space or the NFT space of buying and selling NFTs. Now, a couple of really common things when it comes to setting up any of these wallets, and that is the seed phrases. Any of these wallets that you set up and create new accounts for, you'll need to save and store your seed phrase. So it's usually a 24-word seed phrase. It's a representation of your secure key that it makes up your wallet. But you need to write that down. Now, I mentioned this in episode 21, but make sure you don't write it down on a piece of paper long term. Maybe you need to write it on a piece of paper temporarily just to get it down off your computer. But storing it on a piece of paper is prone to issues. The paper may get wet, it may get burnt, it may get eaten by your dog, and there goes your seed phrase. So make sure you take it off that piece of paper eventually if you're not planning on keeping it there and letting your dog eat it or letting a small child add it, for example. You need to get that off. What I recommend is buying a really cheap etcher. So you can buy an electric etcher or even a sharp cutter etcher from a hardware store and some cheap pieces of metal. A stainless steel is fairly cheap and you can get it cut down to size. And if you get it down to a good size where you can write 24 words on, you probably need to play around with it in the hardware store yourself. But you can cut down those pieces of metal and start writing down your seed phrases on there. So that is a nice, cheap way of doing it. But there are also more fancier and more designer kind of ways of doing it. And you can get one of those things called a steel capsule. And each one of those capsules can hold 4 letters of each one of the 24 words. And you can store it that way. So that's a different way. I've got links in the show notes. It's the fancier way if you want to spend some more money on your keeping your seed phrase safe and secure. Look into it. They're pretty cool. They're a little bit gimmicky, I think, but it's another way of storing your seed phrase and make sure you don't lose it. I always say at the end of every episode, keep those seed phrases safe and secure. Now, here's a little pro tip for you. So if you didn't know this, you can actually restore your wallet seed phrase on any of these wallets. So if you have a wallet on Daedalus and you're sick and tired of firing up your computer each and every time, you can actually take that seed phrase and restore it on the Yoroi mobile app. So now you have your Daedalus wallet set up and you can access it on your computer anytime you want. But you can also take that seed phrase and put it on your phone, on your smartphone, so that you can, at a glance, check your wallet balances and find out exactly how much crypto you have. If you need a reminder, if you only have 10 crypto, you have 10 crypto. It's a good, easy number to remember. But if you're wanting that flexibility, you can move from device to device and have the exact same wallet. So it's really convenient thing to have. Now, the rest of the write-up for this particular episode is on the show notes. You can check it out in the links below or go to cardano.com.au/EP032 and you can get to all the links, all the details of all these different particular wallets and all the information around some of the pro tips so that you can remain a little bit more secure and get the most out of your wallet experience for Cardano. Now I have a little bonus for you. Yep, that's right. I actually did an interview with Tiago Serogio, who is the co-founder of Card Wallet, and he joined me on the episode to talk all about their project, what it can do, and what kind of experience you should be expecting from Card Wallet. So let's get into this interview. So I'm joined with Tiago Serogio from Card Wallet, a really interesting project that has launched recently. I've had a chance to play around with the wallet as well, and it is looking quite slick. So I have to commend your team in regards to putting this together. Tiago, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you've got quite an illustrious career in the crypto space. Could you tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto and specifically how you got into Cardano?
Wow. So I got into crypto around 2012, where I started for the first time really noticing Bitcoin and, hey, this is interesting. Let me look a bit into it. But it was a slow process until about half a year later, nearing, more or less October, I saw this talk by Andreas Antonopoulos, I think it was the Jefferson Club. It was a very noisy place with plates clinging in cups and whatever. But I was like completely fascinated because obviously everyone recognizes him as being like a great speaker. And even the annoying noise around it made me, zoom into every single word he was saying. And then I started Googling Andreas Antonopoulos, and I just literally digested everything I could. And I was like, mind blown. Like everyone knows where they were on the 11th of September. I remember when I first logged onto the internet, those defining moments in your life, that was one of them. Like, wow, this is incredible technology, the potential to transform society and create a new paradigm of understanding and communication is something I could not sleep. So I started mining.
Yeah.
I started mining to get into the tech. And yeah, one thing led to another. And I started working for a little project called Darkcoin, which later rebranded to Dash. And that's how I entered the professional arena. So how do I arrive at Cardano? So after a couple of years, and I decided to try other things. I was completely mind blown as well by the famous whiteboard video by Charles. And because I was already looking to so many projects, I thought, okay, when this hits testnet, when there's something to play with, then I'll circle back and I'll see how the tech is looking. But the idea is astonishing. I love it. So yeah, like in 2018 or 19, I think it was 19, Cardano had a conference in Miami, like a 3-day conference, and it was all filmed and put on YouTube. And I said, okay, this is a perfect time for me to, get a quick sync up to what is happening with that ecosystem and see where it's at. And the very last talk was by Nathan Kaiser. At the time, he was chairman of the foundation, and he was saying, "Hey, we are hiring. We have these positions. We are hiring." And I thought, I really want to work for Cardano. No way, I'm going to skip this. So I ran to the website, and I would not rest until I got noticed, because I do believe that I made it a point to work for projects that had something to do with social good. Yeah. Something that like really had a mission to let's do something different. Let's fix the world. It's utopic. It's like a utopia, but it's not until you actually achieve something. Like flying was like, okay, this is a pipe dream until someone figured it out, right? So this will happen, and I'm making it my life mission to contribute to projects that are actually trying to build something for the benefit of humanity.
So you actually worked for Cardano in some sort of aspect for a while.
Cardano Foundation, yes.
Cardano Foundation, fantastic, yeah. I was community project manager, so I was leading on the Spanish and Portuguese communities, but most of it was like 85% was developing and leading the ambassador program, which is a fantastic program. So I commend you for your efforts in working with the Cardano Foundation. But now you've gone off and started your own project with your co-founder, Victoria, Card Wallet. And you've gone through the phase of developing this. You're working through OccamFi, which is quite an interesting thing as well. But you've launched the mobile app. I've had a play with it. I've gone through it, and I've transferred some ADA over to it as well. And it's a really slick looking app. So it's looking good. I'm quite excited about what its potential can be. But just going over the website and looking more into the project, it's called a cross-chain non-custodial wallet and liquidity engine. So for a lot of my audience, these are just buzzwords, and they won't know any of that and won't understand exactly what it means. So can you explain Card Wallet, why it's so different? Why would I use Card Wallet over using something like Coinbase?
Sure. Well, as you said, we are focusing a lot of our energy to create an app that is really simple and really streamlined, and it doesn't have a lot of clutter, so that someone that is coming for the first time into the cryptocurrency space is able to not feel intimidated. There's so many wallets out there that have so many cool features, but if you're not really versed already, you look at it and, oh my God, this is so intimidating that I'm scared to touch a button because I don't know what's going to happen. So we're trying to do it the other way around.
You might lose all your money if you press this button.
Exactly. So, and slowly as we start developing our tokenomic design and features, then slow and steady, we will adapt it to the app. But the core is that, okay, so let's start from the beginning. What is a non-custodial wallet? A non-custodial wallet is a wallet that the funds held in those in the app is not on our side. It's not like in the bank that you deposit. It's not like in Coinbase where you entrust Coinbase with your tokens, your coins, and they will, if they so wish, they will let you use them because they might close the doors to the access of those coins and you're locked out, right? So basically, it's a wallet that you have your seed phrase, and you are responsible for keeping that seed phrase hidden from third parties, and no one is able to manipulate or control your funds. You are 100% in control of your funds, just as long as you keep that seed phrase really protected and you do not share it with anyone. So the beauty of it is that if you're walking around and you lose your phone, or someone breaks into your car or something like that and steals your phone, you don't need to freak out. All you need to do is download the app, import that seed phrase, and you will have your balance there. And then you can safely move them to another wallet just for safety. So if you protect that seed phrase really well, it's unhackable. While centralized or custodial wallets, the funds are held in a wallet that can be accessed by hackers. Or if the company decides not to allow you access to your coins, they can lock you out.
They could potentially run off with all your cryptocurrencies or everyone's cryptocurrencies.
I'm not suggesting that Coinbase would do that, but what happens is, because of regulatory compliance, a transaction might be flagged as risky or dubious, or from originating from past criminal activities that you had nothing to do with, but you interacted with some other website and you withdrew some Bitcoins, and these are flagged as being part of a previous hack or something like that. And a custodial wallet might lock you out because they need to investigate, and which is absolutely fine. I mean, regulation is absolutely fine. It's to protect society. But this is the core difference between you entrusting your funds to someone else, or you keep your funds safely with you. But there's a caveat: you are responsible for your funds. So in the case of Coinbase, if they get hacked and someone steals your money, it is on Coinbase to pay you back. And they offer this protection. We do not offer this protection because we don't even have access to your funds.
Cool. That's a really big difference. And before we get into some of these other aspects of what CardWallet
pros and cons.
Big pros and cons. Before we get into some of these other aspects, what would you recommend is a really good way to store and keep that seed phrase secure?
Right. So it depends on your level of paranoia. If you are, it is true.
Good way to put it. Yep.
If you have so let's say 24 words, which is your seed phrase, banana, milk, television, blah, blah, blah. And that is your seed phrase. And you have a couple of $100, then just write it on a piece of paper, keep it in a shelf in your study or in a drawer. Is not going to be a big deal. If you are a multimillionaire entrusting, that amount of capital, then what you would do is you would split that seed phrase so that if someone has split that like in 3 parts and keep one part in the safe in the bank, the other in your parents' apartment, and the other one and it's somewhere else, right? So if someone tries to steal your funds, they will never have the full access to the seed phrase. Now that is the ultra paranoia level security. But I would say, keep that seed phrase. There are some people that actually go out and buy a brand new computer that has never been connected to the internet. Before they power it on, they dismantle the Wi-Fi card just because, Edward Snowden style paranoia. There are people who do this, and for legitimate reasons, because hackers will go to great lengths to access your funds. But for the general, regular person, just be sure to write down your seed phrase, right? Then immediately after, make a copy. So make a couple of copies, because papers can get wet, they can get lost, they can get ripped. test your seed phrase, because just one letter in the wrong place and it will not work. So you need to be absolutely sure that, singulars and plurals are in place, that, you don't like pair or peer, stuff like that happens because you're looking in your writing. So verify your seed phrase, and then make sure to keep it in a safe place where you know that no one will access. The way I do it, for example, is I create my own cold wallets or storage, so to speak. So I use Macintosh. So I create an encrypted folder, which is a DMG. It's a drive. Technically, it's a drive with 256. What is it? I forget the name. The encryption algorithm. I forget. Well,
it's encrypted.
It's encrypted. I have my password, and then I am safe to keep it in a pen drive in the safe.
Yep.
Right. So that's the way I do it. Other people just put it on a piece of paper and just file it or something.
I've always heard disaster stories. You see it on Reddit, you see it on forums where people have had their piece of paper seed phrase eaten by ants, or their dog got to it, it got wet, or it's faded. They put it somewhere secure, but it just faded and all the words are illegible, can't be read anymore. Or one of those encrypted drives, the password failed and they couldn't get through it anymore. So it's all locked up. But thank
absolutely.
you so much for sharing that.
That pen drive, I actually make 5 copies because pen drives do fail as well.
Yeah.
So
So you're up here in terms of paranoia. Great. Okay. Good. Good to know. So what about these other buzzword terms in terms of what Card Wallet is? So it says cross chain as well. So what does that mean for our listeners?
Yeah, cross-chain has, depending on how you use it, can have different meanings. But basically, we are a Cardano first project, Cardano centric. So we are developing, thinking about the Cardano ecosystem moving forward, and we are going to dedicate all our efforts to implement our tokenomic design on the Cardano network. But we also support Ethereum and Bitcoin, and in the future maybe Binance Smart Chain. Possibly other chains, depends on communities' wishes. So that means that with the Card Wallet, you will be able to use multiple chains, and you will be able to swap, for example, directly BTC to ADA.
So in terms of the cross-chain aspects, we'll be able to accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA. Would we be able to accept native tokens on Cardano? Like, what's the story there? Can we accept like a Dana from other projects, Meld or MintSwap tokens, anything like that?
Absolutely. We have already implemented that. So in version 1.2, you will be able to accept Cardano native tokens. There aren't that many going around, but we have what is it? let me just have a look. We have Occam, we have Card Wallet, we have Internet Identity Token, Yay, Liquid, Revotu, Wi-Fi, World Mobile Token, ADAX, Ergodex, Tomato Coin.
Tomato coin. Okay.
This is okay. I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay. Clarity, Singularity Net. And Card Wallet. More to come, obviously. We are partnering with, we have several strategic partners that we're starting to collaborate with, and more in the near future. So, and we, any project that wants to list on Card Wallet, just feel free to reach out, and we will just do some due diligence, because we do want to protect our user base. So that is one of the reasons why people are not able to add their own tokens like MetaMask, at least not for the time being. Okay, because one of the missions of Card Wallet is to walk alongside Cardano in banking the unbanked. So new users to the space who are not well versed enough to be able to protect themselves.
Okay. One of the other features that I looked into was the fiat onboarding and offboarding for Card Wallet. So what does that mean? Does that mean I can literally on my phone buy directly certain tokens using Apple Pay? Is that the idea?
Precisely. So again, we do not hold any customer information. We are completely non-custodial, even at the level of we don't have your phone number, we don't have your email. The seed phrase is what permits you to access your wallet. So the fiat on and off ramps are third-party providers. Sendwire, which is now Wire, and Simplex, and they take care of the payment gateway. So you can pay with Visa, MasterCard, or Apple Pay. They may ask you to, the first time you use it, they may ask you to upload some documents just to prove that you are the legitimate owner of that card.
Yeah.
And then from then on, you just set your buy and sell orders, and you can buy directly from a card and to a card.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. I feel like that's always a big barrier for a lot of people that have to sign up to an exchange, go through the full KYC process there, load up their wallet on that exchange, then work out how to buy something on the exchange, and then offload it to somewhere security. It's such a long process, and this sounds so much easier if it's a non-custodial wallet where you have full control and access, but then have that Visa card access where they can just purchase and buy whatever they want. That sounds amazing. That's just really easy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest barriers of entry that I've noticed when talking to my friends, they approach me, hey, I know you talked about it, but finally, for some reason, this year I decided to buy my first cryptocurrency. Can you help me out? So obviously I do, and the registration on exchanges is easy. Uploading documents is easy. Doing the first transfer is easy, and then comes the actual exchange platform, and I have to explain candlesticks and limit orders and what is market orders, and I just feel the tension growing because. It's easy for us who've been around, but for them it's just, I really don't want to make this effort. So with Card Wallet, you just, add a card, and then whenever you want, you just click buy, how much in dollars or in euros or in whatever currency. Sell, it's the same thing. Obviously, you will not have the same level of control as on an exchange, right? But that's not the point. The point is to make it really simple to interact with cryptos.
That's really, really cool. So just talk about some of the other features that I've noticed. You mentioned that we can have native tokens from Cardano on the wallet as well. So another aspect of native tokens is NFTs. Does that mean we'll have NFTs on here? I saw something mentioned.
Yeah. So, okay, world exclusive.
All right. Brilliant.
It's literally just right around the corner. I already have the internal beta on my phone. It works beautifully. So maybe, I don't know, when do you think you'll publish this? During the weekend, today? Maybe by the time that... All right. Okay. So for sure, when this video goes up, NFTs will be already available on the app. It's really simple. It's a tab, NFT. You just send your NFTs to the wallet, and you'll be able to visualize it in a very convenient way. So even though we are such a young project, we just launched our MVP in September. We are mid-October, and we are already delivering on the roadmap. This is the first true building block of our tokenomic design, which includes NFTs. You're not able to mint for now, but you are able to buy it and store them and visualize them, which is something that you cannot currently do in other wallets.
I like the idea of being able to purchase something, put it on my wallet, and show my friends and go, hey, check out my Space Buds. This thing's absolutely brilliant, and it's worth this much amount of ADA at the moment. So that's really cool to be able to do that. Now, I saw a Medium post about a partnership with NFT Maker. Is this part of that partnership that made this possible, or is this something else?
No, this is our own implementation. So the strategic partnerships that we are not only with NFT Maker, but other partners like Meld, several DEXs, and so many more, some of which I cannot disclose at this moment, but we have several partners already and already in discussion with several more. So the idea is, okay, so we are all rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
The Alonzo hard fork was yesterday. People are rushing to start implementing, their products. we need to talk to each other, see who the real guys are, who the real players are, and share resources. It doesn't make sense for people to work in a closed loop by themselves. We need to talk to other projects to see how their vision is for implementation of and cross-pollination of tech. So, for example, we are working on a web extension. So very soon we will have Card Wallet as a Chrome extension, and that means that we are also looking into dApp connectivity. So that's the whole point, to be able to have DeFi in your pocket. But obviously there are people who feel much more comfortable, doing the interaction with on a desktop or on a laptop. So we are talking to several projects to precisely to do that, to see how to figure out how we integrate our techs.
That's amazing. It's like when a lot of more of the dApps come out, we will be expecting that Web3 experience where you have some sort of Chrome extension and we can interact with the smart contract within a website. So it's really cool that you're actually going that way as well as having it in your pocket on the mobile app. So that's absolutely amazing. Now, one of the other mentions in the white paper on the deck on the website was the liquidity pools. What does that mean for Card Wallet users?
It means many things. So our tokenomic has several different features. We first need to implement native ADA staking directly in Card Wallet, and then also staking of Card Wallet token itself. We have many ideas. Smart order routing. Well, staking will grant you access to other features. So that will include like smart order routing and yield farming and other cool DeFi nomenclature that your audience might not have been exposed yet to them. We will get there. We just need our partners to develop and implement DEXs and lending and whatnot for us to be able to actually figure out how we are going to do it in our app. So it's not 100% up to us to deliver. We are waiting for some solutions out there so that we can then integrate them into Card Wallet. Understood. So it's a bit too soon. It's a bit too soon to talk about it, but the pitch deck does have a clear, grand vision of what we are able to achieve. We just need to get there step by step.
Okay, so just to clarify, the staking in regards to staking to various stake pools, so users will be able to choose which stake pool they want to delegate their ADA to. Is that correct?
We're not going to create our own pool and force our users to use our own pool.
Cool. That's good because there are so many stake pools at the moment that are trying to fight for delegates. So it's nice that you can give the users of Card Wallet the choice to choose who and where they delegate their ADA to. So that's really nice. And then all the liquidity pools and all the yield farming, etc., you're using other services, other DEXs out there and not creating your own. Is that the case as well?
Yes, that is the case. Yeah. So right now there are no DEXs. They are the beginning of the DEXs. Like OccamX released a demo recently. Sunday Swap is also a huge contender in the space. Matrix Swap just very recently launched their beta on the Polygon network, but they're also looking into Cardano, and they're doing it a little bit different to traditional DEX. We just need the technology to be in place. The code audits to come out for user protection, and we need to test them. And from then integrate, start plugging our APIs together and see how we can fit it into Card Wallet. The idea really is you will have the centralized buying and selling in swaps, but then we want to permit the decentralized world, obviously, and that is the entry point to true DeFi.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay. The roadmap for this project is quite exciting. I can't wait to actually see everything fall into place. There's so many pieces of the puzzle. We have to wait for all these DEXs to actually build their solutions or the audits to happen, and then you can actually piece together what you have on your end. So I'm really excited to see everything fall into place. Now, just to go backwards a little bit in history of Card Wallet, I mentioned a little bit earlier that it came out of OccamFi, so that accelerator that Occam have put together. Now, a lot of people, when this came out, it's all based on Ethereum. So it's quite an interesting and different way of doing things. A lot of people would have expected to be able to buy the Card Wallet token, which is a CW token, on the Cardano network, but you can't. You have to buy on Ethereum. What is the idea that Occam came up with to build and make everything on the Ethereum network, as opposed to try and build something on Cardano in the early days like some other projects have?
First to market, basically. Even with Alonzo right around the corner, Cardano is historically known, the reputation for missing the deadline.
Yeah, we'll give it that.
and even still, testnet is all fine and good, but the real magic happens on mainnet. So whatever you deploy on mainnet, you need to be very careful that things work. Ethereum is tried and tested. It's been there. All the developers are really comfortable with Solidity, and the transition is going to be slow and steady. So we could either sit and wait, and then very likely see other projects deploy first, or we could launch on Ethereum and then bridge to Cardano, get technology in place, get the features in place, show that the team is trustworthy, that we can deliver, and then whenever relevant, make the transition over to Cardano. Now, there's another aspect to this. Even though we are Cardano centric or Cardano first, we're not Cardano centric, we're Cardano first. That doesn't mean that we don't care about other chains. There's space for everyone. Deploying on Ethereum is just, let's get things done now. We're not going to wait. Let's get it out. So that's in a nutshell, that's it.
It totally makes sense. Like plus the Ethereum network, the blockchain, there are so many users there that are extremely rich now. So why not bring some of their wealth over to the Cardano network and get them to invest in projects that are building for Cardano? It totally makes sense to me to actually go that way. And I wouldn't say milk. I'd say milk their money for and bring it over to the Cardano ecosystem. So for me, it completely makes sense. Okay, so in regards to how the project makes money, or how it actually will fund itself in the future. So there was that token launch, and Occam provided that initial process so that Card Wallet could actually raise funds, etc. From that, what's the next stage for funding the project? So I'm assuming this amount of money would have raised enough for like 2-3 years worth of development. What is the longevity of the project, and how is it going to fund itself?
The business model is nothing extraordinary or new or radically new. Basically, trading fees. So that means that not only in terms of development. In terms of the development, we are absolutely secure for the next couple of years. Then we need user adoption. Yeah. For user adoption, we need to provide them features. So we hope that as we start releasing features, we will start gaining more users, and this will generate more activity within the app, more buying and selling, and this revenue. So trading fees will revert to Card Wallet. We do have a very interesting burn mechanism. So 25% of company profits will be used to buy the tokens, CW tokens, on the open market and burn them.
Interesting.
So this hopefully will incentivize the ecosystem. Now, this has a grand vision end game, which is releasing the actual card, the physical card. Now, when that comes,
a credit debit card.
Debit card, yeah, gotcha. Very much like Nexo or Crypto.com or so many others, Trastra or WireX or so many others. Now, this is where things change radically for Card Wallet, because from a non-custodial wallet, if we issue a debit card, then we will start being responsible for user data and potentially user funds. So that means that we will have to restructure everything to be able to meet regulatory and compliance. And not only that, in terms of tech, we will need to restructure, a lot as a company. Potentially, that means that way down when that happens, we might look for more funding rounds. But for now, our objective is to show that with this initial funding, we are able to deliver a rock solid application that is easy to use with the full tokenomic implementation that will serve the Cardano community and then more.
That's brilliant. So talking about community, how is the Card Wallet community going? I know a lot of projects, especially in the NFT space, for example, need a community to drive and grow its usage. So you're talking about it's all there. So how is the Card Wallet community looking? How's it growing? What's it like at the moment?
It's very young, as the project itself is young. It's growing slow and steady. The thing is that especially during a bull run where every single day there's so many launch pads and so many projects and there's so much noise in the space. When I say noise is, there's so much hype and it's so difficult to get attention. People are looking for the next shiny thing constantly. So basically, as a product right now, there's nothing really to differentiate us except for this NFT support, which is already something. But I mean, other than, being part of our community right now, why would you download Card Wallet and use it if you're already using other wallets? So we need to release more features to be able to attract more users, for them to say, hey, this is really cool. I don't need 5 different wallets. I can just use Card Wallet because it has Bitcoin, it has Ethereum, it has Cardano, native tokens, ERC20. I can store my NFTs. Hey, I can do without all these other wallets.
It has it all.
And it has it all. And then we will implement staking, and then we start implementing other cool features. So this is when we expect the community to really grow and potentially grow exponentially. So right now, it's we're just heating up our engines. Mm-hmm. Liftoff will be very explosive.
That's really cool. I know you have like a feedback mechanism for the community as well, so people can submit what's called a Card Wallet improvement proposal.
Mm-hmm. That has not been implemented yet. Mm-hmm. That is in the works. Our GitHub account right now is basically just a landing page for saying hello. Part of our code is proprietary and it's going to be closed source, but then everything that relates to our tokenomic design will be open source and verifiable. That is when we also expect. So we will have that on GitHub, and we will have a place where people can discuss improvement proposals. Yeah,
that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so lastly, how can people find out more about Card Wallet and potentially join the community and I guess submit these future ideas and get excited about Card Wallet?
Absolutely. So the easiest way really is to check out our website. It has links to all of our socials. So whatever your preference, Twitter, Telegram, just go to the website, which is cardwallet.fi. And just click on the link. We'll be happy to onboard you onto Telegram to chat with us. I'm always available. I might not be able to respond immediately, but I'm always available to the community. And yeah, just everyone's invited. Please come along.
Really hope you found that interview interesting, and please check out Card Wallet. It's a really cool project in the Cardano ecosystem. Tiago was a former employee of the Cardano Foundation, and Victoria, his co-founder, was a former CEO of Cointelegraph. So these two people, these two powerhouses have joined and are building up Card Wallet to be a really cool wallet for the Cardano ecosystem. Check out the links in the show notes. You can find them down below in whatever podcast app you're listening to or on the cardano.com.au website. Now, that's it. That's all I have for this podcast episode. Please make sure you keep your eyes peeled and your ears sharpened. Is that it? No. Ears cleaned? I don't know what the saying is. Stay tuned. And make sure you listen out for that announcement in regards to Sunday Swap. Hopefully we do make that short list for the particular pools that will be voted on, and then go out and vote for us, please. Or vote for your other stake pool that you may be happy to support within this ISO. We would absolutely love to be able to provide ADA rewards and also the Sunday token rewards. If you have any questions, please jump onto the show notes, leave a comment within the show notes. We also did a big FAQ write-up. I'll put a link to that in the description down below as well, so you can find out a little bit more about the Sunday Swap ISO and everything else we've talked about in this podcast episode. Now, like I say all the time, every single episode, please keep your seed phrases safe and secure and keep them backed up. All right, bye.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating. IOHK, Emmergo, we're not affiliated, not Cardano Foundation. We just gotta say it. A show that you can learn and it's for your entertainment. Yeah, you gotta check it. Don't wanna be missing that. You were tuned in to the Learn Cardano podcast. Yeah, giving insight. Ain't another show like this when it come to crypto. Invest at your own risk. Might not be for everyone, but who it is for, we keep giving you some info and plenty more. Hey, yeah, the Learn Cardano podcast. Hey, yeah, the Learn Cardano podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked right here. Let's go.